This moment right here could be the difference between weak fly balls and hitting home runs. I'm Nick, the hitting doc, and today we're going to cover our last video of the mechanics series, talking about contact point, bat path, and keeping the muscles loose to turn more weak ground balls and fly balls into home runs over the fence. Let's get started. Okay, so we have this video of Kurt's here. By now, we've gone through most of the swing, so you can recognize some things. So he's nice and balanced, good posture. He's got a good stride, scap load, front foot gets down, nice and firm. The hips go first, hip-shoulder separation, connection, barrels on plane. And now we're at contact. This is where players make the money. This is the whole goal of hitting, is to square the baseball up with the bat head, hit it hard on a line, and try to defeat defenders. That's the whole goal. So notice this pitch is inside on the plate. Okay, so I have the plate diagram over here. This is on the inner third for lefties. That's what we're going to use for comparison. And I want you to notice this green line on barely on the inside of his front foot. Okay, so he's getting the barrel of the bat out front to square this ball up as best as he can. Okay, and that's what's going to allow him to pull the pitch to right field. Okay. So as a general rule of thumb, an inside pitch, we want to get the bat head out earlier and pull it, okay? Most people don't have a problem with this one. Good finish, follow through. Okay, let's talk about Harper now. So this one's going to be a middle pitch. He takes it dead center, like 500 feet. And let's look. Good stride, nice and balanced, good scap load, coil. Really violent swing. Look at this separation there. Okay. Contact is now deeper in the stance, so the ball's traveled further. Now it's kind of that belt buckle area, maybe kind of right at his back knee. So this is for a middle pitch, and his bat perfectly squares it up to hit it right in the middle of the field. Okay, now we have lefty judge. I use this because it was actually kind of hard to find an opposite field home run for whatever reason, but it's just for a good comparison. And look at how deep he can hit this pitch, okay? So this is like on the back foot, right, maybe his left ankle is how deep that he's letting this ball go in his stance, okay? And that's what is allowing him to hit this outside pitch so hard, okay? So when you let it travel, you're letting the bat head rotate, and it's basically at its fastest point of acceleration, okay, when you let it travel. And this ensures that good contact and power to opposite field, okay, those line drives we're after. And I want to make a quick point. You can pull an outside pitch. I'm not saying you can't. And actually, if you can do that well, I recommend you do that. The whole goal is to barrel up baseballs, hit hard line drives. So you can absolutely pull an outside pitch, and I just think this is an area where most young hitters need to mature, and what separates them from the rest, and also boosts their recruitability with colleges, etc. If you can use all the different parts of the field. Now let's talk about bat path. So lots of terms get thrown around. I like to use the term bat path to describe the bat trying to stay in line with the pitch, okay? So if this is the bat and the pitch is coming on this line, okay, I want the bat to stay on that line where the sweet spot is as long as possible, okay? We don't want to pull off early. We want to keep that sweet spot as long as possible. So you're essentially trying to keep the sweet spot of the bat on line with the pitch as long as possible, okay? So this is an image out of my book, and you can see that here on the left we have the bat pulling off, okay? So instead of staying through, we are pulling off, okay? So you notice that the red line doesn't intersect with the path of the pitch that's coming in very long. You have a smaller window to barrel it up, okay? And then notice here on the right side, the bat stays through it longer. It stays on the line of the pitch longer, okay? And notice the knobs of the bat on the left side versus the right side. You can see the arc of the knob, and you can see that on the right side, it's pretty much in a straight line, okay? And where you're going to see this with younger players or any players is watch their backhand, okay? So when they swing, it should be like they're going to punch the ball, okay? Right here. That's how they should finish their swing. Okay, why is bat path so important? So bat path is super critical for keeping the bat in the zone longer, especially if you get fooled by a pitch or your timing's off. So say, for example, you're expecting a fastball coming and pitcher hides a changeup really well. You don't expect it, but you're timed up for a fastball. So you're early, okay? Well, if your bat is on path with the ball, you have a longer window for contact. So the green line intersects more for a longer duration on that pitch track. So you have a longer window for that barrel to hit the ball, even though you're out front and you're early. So you can still maintain good contact. So that's the key. So it's good for off speed, for timing, and it's honestly just a great habit to be in. It's going to help eliminate ground balls and fly balls. So it's absolutely huge. That's what bat path is. Let's look at an example. So here we have Pete Alonso, outside pitch. You can see it's on the outer third. And watch his backhand here, okay? His backhand is going and essentially punching toward the baseball, okay? And he swings through it. The bat stays out front. It looks like he's out like reaching for it. I think it's just kind of the angle. But he stays through the ball. That's what that means, okay? He's not pulling off early. The bat stays in the zone a long time. We'll contrast that with a little league swing here. Look where he's striding. He's kind of striding toward third base instead of the pitcher, and that's also going to set him up for having a bad bat path and falling off, okay? So he's striding toward third, gets down, pretty good separation here. Watch his hands, okay? They cut right across his body instead of pushing out toward the baseball. So his bat cuts right across the body. It doesn't stay on line with the baseball as long as it could. And the result is a pretty weak fly ball to right field. Okay? All right, last thing I want to talk about is staying loose with your muscles, with hitting. You got to stay loose, okay? So many of us get tense. We think that we can just muscle balls over the fence. This video of Chris Davis shows him. He hit 53 home runs this season, and just look at how buttery smooth he is, how loose his muscles are. He's hitting these balls 450 plus feet, but it looks like he's not even trying. He's just letting his energy whip through the zone, okay? So the analogy there is kind of like if I had a towel and I wanted to try and snap it at the camera, I'm not just going to try and muscle it forward, okay? I'm going to accelerate it and then just let it kind of whip, okay? That's what we have to do with the bat. We want to be explosive and generate this energy, but toward the end, you have to let it go and whip, okay? And if you do it right, you're going to whip your energy right on playing with the baseball, okay? You're not going to try and muscle it around or pull off early. Just be nice and loose, controlled explosion. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something about contact point, bat path, and staying loose and whippy with the muscles. And I think this is really going to help hitters, whether you're a coach, player, parent. These concepts apply, and it's going to help with contact and power. And if you're looking for more of a deep dive, check out my book, The Baseball Hitting Guidebook, on Amazon. I have everything you need. It's got lots of drills, some that are great for this content we covered today. So check that out. I also have a free PDF if you're interested in that. And I want to know in the comments, what do you want to learn or what are you struggling with? And I'll see if I can cover it for you. So anyway, I appreciate the support, and until next time.